What's up, LC heads? Another good day, another awesome day, I hope, for you, right? Good coffee over here. So we're going to be talking about Saintly Maylee. What is she good for? Don't finish the rest of the song. I know the lyrics. I'm not going to say she's a bad character. I'm not. What I will say, though, is that she benefits other characters more than herself. So she's this weird hybrid of support and some DPS. I had to really think about it. Like, what is her buff benefiting the most? Who is it benefiting the most, right? This girl went from being a dual wielder to now rocking a scythe, an axe, technically, right? Her damage cap buff is not going to benefit double-handers as much as it is a dual wielder. Why? Well, she's pretty much giving you 8,000 more to damage cap. Like, if it's done properly, your whole team will have 4,000 more to damage cap against the enemy when the enemy has the debuff on them, right? And then she can gift an ally or herself another 4,000 damage cap. So all in all, that's not bad. You know, just 4,000 more damage cap for your whole team just from that break. That's pretty cool, right? So who is she going to want to give the present to? Not herself. I guess in the Christmas spirit, they didn't want to encourage people keeping gifts for themselves. Yes, Saintly Maylee is one of the worst candidates for her own buff. Why is that? Because she doesn't have as high of a hit count as a dual wielder, right? You're doing 10,000 more per hit. Who's that going to benefit more? Maylee, who hits 5 times, or another character who hits 10, 15 times, right? So obviously, you're going to want to put her buff on a dual wielder. Better yet, what about Christmas Lilibet? Think about that. This buff is really going to help her, right? Because she's using her basic attack, okay? And she's throwing it out like a freaking machine gun. So this is something that is really going to help Saintly Lilibet spam more damage just because of the super high hit count. Every single machine gun attack that you can do with her basic attack now, every single hit is going to do 8,000 more damage. That is substantial. That really is. So that's kind of the way that I'm looking at it. They're giving us a play on Lilibet's spam. Her spam basic attack. Pretty cool if you have both of these characters together, right? On the upside, Maylee here, she's going to be doing the support thing. She's still going to be doing pretty decent damage for a supporter, right? Like, things go south, you can always swap over to Maylee, dump her kit, whatever she's got. You're going to be doing substantial damage. It's not going to be anything to spit at, and she's probably going to be doing more than most support characters, right? At the same time, support characters are going to be there healing people and supporting them. So that might be something somebody could possibly add to Saintly Maylee, give her some kind of AoE heal and SCT recovery. We have a couple things like that. I will say this, it's fairly easy for this girl to get her MP back. So she can do something with that, right? I'm also not going to throw out her other ability either. She will, I believe it's 20%. She'll make the enemy take 20% more damage. That's pretty damn good, right? And then whoever she gifts that ability to, they're going to take 20% less damage. Yeah, I have to look over those again. Actually, I think I said that wrong. If she gives it to an enemy, they do less damage. Let's see. Let's look at this thing. We also can choose. Yeah, here we go. We can choose to toggle these on and off. So you can choose which present is going to pop up more on her. So that gives you a little bit more control, right? Like, say if you're really going for that damage cap, then you would just leave the Fury box on, right? And you might want to take this one off so that you're getting the Fury box more often. Hold on, let's see what Pandora's. Cut time to damage. Okay, so the buff is take damage minus 20%. Damage dealt minus 20%. Okay, all right. So, yeah, this is hindering the enemy. Damage dealt minus 20%. So the enemy is going to be doing less damage, right? And the buff of this is you're going to be taking less damage. That's actually pretty substantial too, right? Getting 40% less damage on some of your units. That's pretty good, right? But like this still has to be set up. As I've covered in the other video, you can rock both of these at the same time, right? How long will these buffs stay, right? We're gonna have to be testing all of that fun stuff. I haven't exactly got to it yet, but as I'm kind of like brainstorming and thinking about Melee's actual application, the thing that comes to mind for me is that, yeah, Christmas Lilibet is probably going to be able to take advantage of the Fury present box the most, right? All attribute damage caps plus 4K. So if Christmas Lilibet is doing 8,000 more damage cap, that machine gun of hers is just going to be ridiculous. So I'm going to be messing around with that today. But I wanted to put the word out that that's just kind of the way that I'm looking at this hero. Oh, you know what? We did get something awesome. Her little hoe boots, or what are they called? The Nightmare boots, Yulemare boots. I have them equipped to her right now so we can run her and see exactly what these boots are doing. Because the way that it's written here, strength, defense, intelligence, or mind, let's just go right in and see how this works. We'll take Gen out of the party, right? Running some Spirited Assault. And pretty much what we're doing is seeing what these boots are doing, right? They're supposed to have some sort of AoE effect. They're supposed to break all of the enemies. I had to open the door to get the internet out here. Jeez. Thank you. Here we go. So we have a defense down. He got nothing. He got a defense down. The robot got a defense down. And he got nothing. So we're at a 50-50 right now. What did Melee get? She got boost intelligence. So it is random, but you are getting a buff. Your whole team's getting a buff. And your opponent is getting a break. You want this box? We're going to give ourselves the buff here. Did we get it? Which one did we get? The war box cut, damage taken. Yeah, we'll take that to solo this. So I like the item. I definitely think it's worth something. Especially for a support hero. Oh, our S3 did not proc a present. We did not give them a gift. Backstab does work very well with her. So does Sky High. It's an easy way to increase her damage. She's going to be good at juggling stuff. She's going to be good at keeping people in the air, off the ground, so they can't hurt you. There's our present. Might as well give it to ourselves. We got strength down, nothing, strength down, strength down, strength down. So they're all getting the same break. It seems to just be like one at a time. What did we get? We got our intelligence boosted again. Not too bad for an item like that. Right, that might be one less break that your buffer might actually have to throw at the enemies. That way, You can throw something else up. So yeah, is she a must character? I don't think so. It is nice to get those extra caps, but just remember where they're going to be applicable the most. It's not going to be with her. It's not going to be with any double-handing character. She's going to benefit dual wielders the most. And ultimately, I think right now, as it stands in the game, she's going to be benefiting Saintly Lilibet the most. That kind of makes sense, right? They're the Christmas characters. So for everyone that is a huge fan of Lilibet's spam basic attack, I think this literally will take it to the next level. You give Lilibet the gift. She's now hitting for 8,000 more with every single one of her little basic attacks. You empower it with killer abilities instead of slayers. Because remember, Lilibet wants to strengthen her basic attack, not her skill kit. So the buster abilities really aren't as effective as the killer abilities for her. Killer abilities cost less. You can bring more of them. And that way your basic attacks are effective on a whole slew of enemies, and it doesn't cost as much SC. She does have some good crowd control, I think, with the S2 and stuff. I keep forgetting, though. I keep forgetting that there's no flinch proofness at all. We need to get our crit up so we can start healing a little bit before these fools kill us. Do we have some protection on? What do we have? Present war. Okay, yeah. Cut damage taken. Let's throw our S3 and cut the damage that they're doing to me even more. Yes, we needed that box to hit. Extinguate. Also, I unlocked this today. I'm taking 30% less damage from, you know, anybody that has Extinguate on them, which is all of them except for the machine right now. We want to kill that mage first. We might as well throw our special. It's that creepy Christmas cake. Here it comes. I really don't know how they came up with that. A spider Christmas cake thing. Here we go. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on when I get some time today. I will be definitely trying to test out Lilibet. Because what are we hitting for right now? She's capping for like, what, 46k? And we don't have... Yeah, we have War on, not Fury. So she will be hitting for like 50,000, 60,000, something like that. It's not bad. Right, it's not terrible, but when you compare it to what other double-handers are hitting for, they're hitting for damn near 100,000 a hit, right? But like I said, put this same buff on Saintly Lilibet, who is limited to hitting to what, 20,000, something like that. Now you're hitting for 30, and your hit count is just off the freaking chain. So it all depends on how good you are at spamming her basic attack spam. But I do think that Melee's buff does take that to a whole new level. Yeah, and it is for element-based attacks. Obviously, Saintly Lilibet is going to be using ice-based weapons. So, yeah. Oh, no. I keep forgetting about the whole no flinch proof thing. You need to run a little bit to land your attacks. You don't want to be taking stuff head on. Actually, I'm not worried about it now. Oh, I thought he had Extinguate on. Let's see. Let's give ourselves a present. What did we get? That looked like War. Cut damage taken. And here, let's cut the damage he's doing. Oh, didn't go off on him. He dodged a present. He's like, I'm not taking that. I do enjoy the extra 5% of healing that she's going to get from like the thing that stacks on top of Proud Force. With when she throws her skills, she has a chance of absorbing 5% of the damage. So that's pretty cool. Definitely, I enjoy that. So just make sure you run away a little bit before you start dumping your kit. That way none of it gets interrupted. She's going to be good for flying people up in the air. I am seeing backstab proc now that I've thrown that on her. There's that present. What did we give him? Alright, we have extinguate on, and we have more damage cap. We have more damage cap. We don't have the gift to give ourselves, but here's some more damage cap. Some more healing on top of that. All in all, not too bad. Oh yeah, that's right. An extinguate's going to hurt them whenever they use a skill. I actually kind of wish that Sweet Calamity had some sort of elemental break in it. Bam. So I'm going to be putting... I keep wanting to call it Trick Wrist. It's not Trick Wrist. My goodness, what is it called? It's like more backstab damage and more stuff like that, because her S1 and S2 has a bunch of backstab already in, just built in there, because she keeps getting behind you when she juggles you up in the air, right? I'm seeing backstab proc a lot, so that's going to be a pretty easy path to unlock some of her damage. Same thing with Sky High. In fact, what's Sky High 2? The one where it's the higher the enemy goes, the more damage you're doing. Her S2 does get the enemy pretty damn high up into the air. Like she gets them way up there. So that is going to be a fairly cheap and easy way to increase this girl's damage. Now, how applicable is that? Right? If you can't float your enemy, if he's grounded like Zuggy is when you fight him in Blaze, you're not going to be getting all that extra damage from floating people up in the air. You'll still get your backstab. So I'm going to be messing around with that a little bit, and I'm going to be putting Lilibet into the party, and I'm going to be testing all that stuff out. Yeah, it's one of these things, I think, even with Lilibet, where once you set it up, though, right, you're doing all that extra damage with her basic attack, but yo, if that gets interrupted, you know what I mean? That gets interrupted, it might be a little difficult to set that all up again, right? We also have to look over how long do her buffs last, and how long can we make them last? That's kind of a big deal. And how quickly is she getting these presents to throw if there's not a bunch of little enemies around to kill and turn into presents. So just keep that in mind. I don't think she's a necessity by any means. Even yesterday when I made my video talking about Christmas cheese characters, I was still pretty much looking at Saintly Lilibet as probably going to be the one that's still doing the damn thing the most. So I think as more and more people play with this character and review her and find out more stuff you can do with her, unless there's something really cheesy about her that I'm missing right now, like some kind of combination that I'm just not seeing yet, I honestly think if I had to only choose one of the Christmas characters right now, I would probably go for Saintly Lilibet first, and then I would go for Saintly Melee. And that's just IMO, right? But at the same time, this is kind of cool because they are giving us some way to empower Saintly Lilibet. Unless I'm wrong about that, if I am, somebody please step in and correct me. But as far as I can tell, Saintly Lilibet's going to benefit the most from this damage cap buff, followed by any dual wielders that have a super high hit count, right? That's really what's going to do it, because you're adding like 8,000 more to every single hit now. So yeah, that's my take on it so far. And like I said, if I missed anything, please leave me a comment and share with the class. Let's see. Let's run this again just to see how these boots work. They seem to be throwing out one random stat break at a time for the enemies, and then we are just getting one random buff. Defense down, defense. So they're all going to be like getting the same one. So all three of these got defense down. Well, not bad. What did I get out of it? I got boost intelligence. Actually, that's not bad if it's going to give you boost intelligence every time, because technically these boots belong on a mage, right? Or a character that's actually using their intelligence. So, oh, we got Fury up. Oh, snap. Here we go. More to that damage cap. It's on. All that beautiful backstab damage. There we go. Make sure to run away before we drop that S3. If I S2 over there, I should be able to catch up a couple of them. Oh, see that? Look at that. We couldn't juggle the robot up in the air, so the S2 was straight up wasted. So that might be something that people need to keep in mind. That S2 might not be as great if you're just jumping over the enemy's head and not actually applying all of the hits from it. Like the S1, you know, even if you can't juggle them, she's still going to get all those hits in. But look, S2, okay, I guess we did get the robot in the air that time. Maybe it was just a weird angle we were hitting it from. What do you got? Oh, boost intelligence and cut thunder damage taken. So yeah, it's looking like one stat at a time from the boots, you know, but they are, you know, an accessory slot that is still giving decent stats. Let's see, what do the frogs get? Defense down, defense down. All of them are going to have defense down. Cool. At least it is highly applicable, right? The worst I've seen is like a 50-50. Right now, every single one of them caught the debuff. And we have a defense boost. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. Here is our present buff that we should be giving to somebody else. And what did we give ourselves? We gave ourselves Fury. Damage caps. Love it. Let's make sure all these frogs take more damage. Oh, and of course, we killed the frog that we're putting the debuff on. As far as I can tell, it is going to put that on to the unit that you are targeting. Or maybe luck's just been falling that way, and that's just what I keep seeing. I would prefer if it was that way, honestly, though, because then you could actually target and decide who you're putting that break on. This guy. Oh! Hit me with the spell right as I was hitting that S1. Wait for the spell to be over. We'll try to juggle these fools. Well, we at least juggled one of them. I like that for mages, though, because it, like, if they're up in the air, they're not casting and they're not doing damage. So we have Extinguate on. We do have more damage cap to the mage that we're targeting. We have Extinguate on the other ones and a Strength down. Strength down. Oh yeah, Strength down on that mage. Oh no, that fireball came down just as I was tapping the S1. Oh, flinch proof, how I miss you so. It's okay. I think we're going to get through just fine. Again, I really would have liked an elemental break on her special or something like that. Or they could have, I mean, they could have done something where she's still dual wielding, right? And then that way her buff would help her out more, right? Because her hit count would be higher. But apparently they probably thought that that was just like too strong, maybe. I don't know. So they're like, no, we need melee just to hit at 50, 60,000 if she's giving other characters that much more damage through damage cap, right? I still have to explore how well her other buff and break are. Yep, throw the S3. Cut damage taken, that's never anything to spit at too, right? Your enemy's now doing 20% and you're taking 20% less. That can be substantial, right? But then again, you're kind of like at the mercy of luck, right? Because you don't know exactly which present's going to come up. I need to test that as well. I need to toggle one of them off and see if that's going to be something feasible that you can do. Obviously, if you only are going to want the damage cap buff to come up every time, I think if you toggle the other one, I have to read through them again. Because, like, you can only have one present to be giving out at a time on you, right? So, what do I think? She's an interesting character, right? She applies her buffs and breaks different than everybody else. Oh, we are floating the little robot. So, definitely interesting. We just saw that present pop up. So, present war. We're taking less damage. And as soon as I can drop an S3 on you, you're going to be doing less damage to me. And with Extinguate on, oh, he already has it. Cut damage dealt. Because that's the thing, if he has cut damage dealt on him, I'm going to want to get a different box to throw, right? Because we have present box fury and okay, so we have both of them on now. Can I throw an S3 and get a fury counter on him too? Or are we just going to have to backstab our way through here? Oh, we just had another present drop. I have to see what that is. Ah, we killed him too quick. Anyway, so if you're considering pulling this hero, really think about it. Do you need her? Probably not. But if you really enjoy running, Christmas Lilibet, might be something to consider. If you really like spamming that basic attack of hers and you want to get the most out of it, hey, doing another 8,000 damage per hit with her basic attack machine gun, I honestly think that can go a long way. I was just running her the other day in one of the guild maps, and honestly, she did a killer-ass job. I brought a mage that I don't usually run, and they weren't equipped, so I went in there a character short, pretty much. I had a character just doing nothing. And I was like, oh, whatever, that's right, I can spam her basic attack. And it actually put in really, really good work. And now I'm thinking I might have to do that again and try to get her damage cap up by another 8,000, right? Because it doesn't say damage cap to skills. It just says damage cap to that element. So, to my knowledge, unless I'm wrong, it should be applicable to basic attacks. And I think that's really going to be this girl's strong suit. She's going to probably be the best Lilibet buffers in the game. It's like they made a buffer just for her, so you can have your Christmas squad ready. I think they're going to function very well together, and rightfully so. They're both Christmas characters, right? They're both from the same set, so it would only make sense. So this is just IMO. I haven't even got a chance to test everything, so if I'm wrong about anything, somebody please leave a comment, let me know. But this is just kind of how I'm thinking about it and how I'm processing all of this. And I wanted to get this out there because some people might look over this and be like, huh, I really don't need her, right? And if that's the case, well, save your Christmas money for other Christmas stuff. And, yeah, have a happy new year as well. Later, everybody.